Welcome to ECCB Connects. Are you a small business owner who needs funds to grow your business? What opportunities are there to help keep your operations afloat? The answer may be the Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee Corporation, an entity that works with commercial banks in the region to help small business owners increase their access to finance. Today, we discuss the products being offered by the ECPCGC with CEO Carmen Gomez-Trigg. Stay connected. We'll share more with you after we get back.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is rolling out DCash, the next step in the evolution of the EC dollar. Use DCash to send and receive money to and from friends and family. Make payments directly from your smart device. Make payments from wherever you are. Download the app from the Google Play or Apple Store and sign up, or visit dcashec.com for more information. The future of the EC dollar is digital. Let's make history together.
Carmen, welcome back again to ECCB Connects.
Thank you so much, Karina. Great to be here once again.
And it's a pleasure having you as well. Small businesses are key to the development of our region, but they continue to face a number of challenges as they seek to grow, especially in terms of their access to finance. And in the COVID-19 situation, this has been further exacerbated. Why does this continue to be a challenge for small business owners in the region?
It has been a challenge. It has always been a challenge, and it's really a global challenge, not a Caribbean challenge or Eastern Caribbean challenge. And there are several factors for that. The first one being that our commercial banks, even though they are liquid, or when there was a lot of liquidity in the system, they believe that they could lend to consumers where the loan is covered by an asset, a house, a car, some consumer goods, and so on. And they preferred to lend to employees who had a steady income so that they could have the income coming to the bank and so on. So there was a lot of risk aversion within the banking system. This is not to say that some MSMEs did not get loans. Yes, some of them did get loans, but those are the better ones, the ones who had their business in order, the ones who have been long-standing customers of the banks and so on. So that has been the issue, and actually that was part of the information that was uncovered when they were doing the marketing study to set up the guarantee program. So they found that there was this lack of access to finance by MSMEs. There was some demand, and therefore they decided that they would do this guarantee program, and then things would fall into place. The guarantee program has been up since last June, and things have really not fallen into place. And what further studies and further polling with our bankers have determined is that the MSMEs are not ready for the loans. So let me go a little bit of detail. Let me do a little bit of detail on that. Right. Firstly, you need to be registered. A lot of them are hanging up their shingle, doing business, and not being registered. The second thing is you need to have a relationship with the bank, whether it means starting to deposit all your takings on a daily basis, or whether it means going to the bank and saying, I have a business and I would want to expand. What do I need to do? So that's not happening. And the third and most important one is the record keeping. What we find among many of our MSMEs is that they do what we call the commingling of the funds, whereby there is no separation between the business funds and the personal funds. So the business is going along and earning money. It comes into the personal coffers, and there's a family emergency, and bam, everything, all the money is wiped out. So these are the things that we need to address with our MSMEs. I think that, we need to educate our MSMEs as to how they need to position themselves to be able to go to the bank and talk to the banks one-on-one. Tell them what you want to do, tell them what your vision is, and there are banking officers who would help MSMEs, and those MSMEs have grown and expanded.
Carmen, now that you've outlined some of the challenges that the small businesses, entrepreneurs continue to face in the region, let's go to what the work of the Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee Corporation is actually doing to help address some of these issues. Can you elaborate in terms of the purpose of the ECPCGC?
The ECPCGC was formed in response to the situation that we have been discussing, which is lack of access to finance. What it was meant to do was to provide some of the security that we call it in the region, or collateral, as it's called other places. The ECPCGC will provide to the bank some of the collateral that the MSME is missing. So let's give an example. If he goes into the bank for a loan of $100,000 to do a project, he needs to have, under normal banking conditions, he would have to secure that loan with something, either an asset, a guarantor, cash, or something. He must have something to give the bank, because the bank would not give an unsecured loan for $100,000 under most circumstances, unless they have a really long-standing relationship with that particular borrower. So what we found is that the money he's supposed to put down is oftentimes missing, or some of it is missing. So in comes the ECPCGC and says, okay, so you're missing 75%, 80% of the money that the bank needs as security. We would come in and we would make a guarantee, and we would provide the bank with that missing amount of money so that you can get the loan. For this, for the funds that we are sort of putting aside for you, there's a small fee payable on an annual basis. We would, with the bank, monitor the loan, and therefore we would see that all goes in order. So that's basically what the guarantee program is about. So but the borrower then, and coming back to a point he made previously, the borrower must be in good standing. He must be registered. He must have some kind of vision for his business. He must have put some money into the business already, and he must be on a trajectory of growth. So he must have that. He must be able to come and talk to the bank and say, this is where I am now. This is where I want to go. And this is what I need to get there. How can you help me? And together with the bank and the ECPCGC program, we can help him get on the right track.
Excellent. Well, let's get into specifics. I'm a business owner, and like you said, I'm desirous of getting a loan to grow my business, to purchase some new equipment, but I have a shortfall. And normally I might have gone to other persons and investors, somebody else to try to supplement this shortfall. Let's talk about the products that you are offering to small businesses, specifically how they can tap into this additional finances guarantee.
Okay, so we have 3 products. We have what we call the classic product, which is the mainstay of our business, which suggests that a client needs to have 25% of the collateral that is required. He must have put 25% into the project already. So that's what we call this equity in the project, in the business or the project. And his business must have an annual revenue of no more than 2 million EC dollars, and he must have no more than 50 employees in his headcount. Mm-hmm. In addition, we ask that he has sufficient cash flow, not only to cover the repayment to the bank, but also an extra 25% put aside just in case there's an emergency, so that this 25% acts as a buffer. We also ask that our business is in existence for over 2 years, and that he is registered. The registration is particularly important. There are also certain things we look at. We look at his statutory obligations. Does he owe taxes? Does he owe Social Security for his employees? So we look at the entire picture. We also look at what he's doing and where he's doing it. For example, if it is he's opening a poultry depot in a residential area, there are some environmental constraints with regard to that. So we look at that as well. So we look at the total package of the business, not just can he pay the loan. It's a sort of a holistic approach to lending, because we want to see the company grow, but grow organically, not just grow haphazardly. So that's the first product. Given COVID, we had a situation where the MSMEs had a downturn in their fortune, just to put it like that.
And that's understandable. That's understandable.
Understandable, totally. Cash was low. They used all their reserves. They had to send people home. You know, we had lockdowns and so on. So there was this, and then there was a cry from the bankers on behalf of the MSMEs, and they said, guys, we know this is your classic product and so on, but in these COVID times, it really can't fly very well. So we went back to the drawing board. We talked to World Bank, who are our technical partners, and we said, guys, something is not working here. Let's see how best can we massage this product and get something which is a little bit better, more creative, more helpful to the MSMEs. And we came out with 2 new products, and let me talk about those now. The first one is the working capital product for existing businesses, people who've been in business for more than 2 years. So they have some kind of idea as to what could take place, what was taking place before COVID, and how they could sort of crawl their way back, jump their way back after COVID. So these people, we have relaxed our requirements. We, of course, ask that you are registered, that you have no more than 50 employees, and that you have some skin in the game, but we've reduced the skin in the game, the equity we talked about a little while ago. Right. We've reduced that from 25% to 10%. So because we know what's going on. So we say, okay, you need to show us that you have some interest in what's going on here. So a 10% would be a marker of that interest. Right. We have also reduced the amount of collateral that the bank is asking for. We told the banks, look, you can ask for less collateral. You can ask for 20%, and we would put up 80%. So we've moved from 75% collateral for the guarantee up to 80%. Right. In addition, we told the bank now, there is a situation where people may not have the full 20%, but they have the ability to grow to the full 20%, but they need the money now. So if it is that they have some, and they can set up a sinking fund where they can grow this account into the 20% collateral that is required, we would look at that. So we've given them some leeway in terms of the collateral. In addition, we have said to the banks, they may not be able to repay the entire loan for the first year. So let's give them a moratorium for year 1. Let us see if we can, in fact, just let them pay interest only for year 1. And at the end of year 1, they can start the full repayment of the loan. So that is another bit of encouragement to the MSMEs. So that started, we call it a working capital guarantee. That working capital guarantee has proven to be very, very popular with the people who are already in business, who could look at their pre-COVID revenue and look at the post-COVID revenue and see where the shortfall is, and they can see their way how to get out of this mess that we are in. When tourism comes back, they can see themselves growing and developing and so on. So that's where we are with the working capital. Then we have a third product, because some banks said, well, you know, people got a little bit of money when they were retrenched, and they don't want to spend it all. They want to do something. Maybe they had a side hustle that they now want to bring mainstream, or maybe they had a business idea, because we have some innovative ideas coming into the fore around the COVID period. So we said, okay, let's look at that. Now, originally, we did not want to do the startups, because startups have a very, very high failure rate of 75% or more. But with talking with the banks and so on, and asking them to manage this portfolio properly, we were able to design the startup guarantee, which is for businesses who they've started up, they may be about 3 months or so in, and they are less than 2 years in. We ask that they are registered. Of course, the headcount must be less than 50%. And we would give them a loan. They are allowed a loan through the bank. The bank would give them a loan of a maximum of $100,000, and we would guarantee that up to 80%. So we would guarantee $80,000 of that particular facility. With all the other conditions, you know, you must be able to repay your loan. There's no moratorium for the startup guarantee. We thought that if you're in business, you need to start paying your finances or your indebtedness immediately, such that you can grow with that indebtedness built into your financial range. So that's it for the startup guarantee. We have, in fact, already given guarantees, the working capital, we've already given the 3 kinds of guarantee. The working capital guarantee is very, very popular. The startup guarantees, we're getting a lot of inquiries about. So I can see it being a little bit more popular as we go along. But we have put these 2 new products with a timeline. We have them out until March 2022, at which time we will assess them, because we have put aside a certain portion of our fund for these 2 riskier products, because we know that they're risky and we know that this is something that is needed. But so we've put aside a certain portion of our funds for a certain period of time, and then we will assess and see where we are with that, and we'll decide whether we want to continue or whether we want to stop that particular program.
I really like the way that the ECPCGC has recognized the challenges that small businesses are facing and have made adjustments to the products to make it more flexible. Now tell us, how can these entrepreneurs, these business owners actually access the funds? Do they come to you? What is the process for applying for this guarantee?
We are what you call a financial intermediary. So we don't deal with the public one-on-one. However, we do have a contact email, and because we're not in office, people can't call us. But we deal with the banks. The banks are our front-facing people. They're the front-facing, we're the middle, and then the client is the other part of the arrangement. We do have something called a Grievance Redress Mechanism on our website, www.ecpcgc.org. And if there's a problem, a client can reach out to us via that mechanism. Also, they can contact us at info@ecpcgc.org. But the real people that you need to be talking to are the bankers. So we have banks in 5 of the 6 member countries. We have participating lenders, as we call them, in Antigua. We have ECCB in Antigua. We have ACB Caribbean also in Antigua. In Dominica, we have National Bank of Dominica. In Grenada, we have Grenada Development Bank, Grenada Co-op Bank, and also we have Republic Bank in Grenada. They've recently signed on. ACB Antigua has recently acquired Royal Bank in Grenada, and ACB Grenada, that's now coming on board. So Grenada is kind of busy. In St. Kitts, we have St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank. In St. Lucia, we have Bank of St. Lucia, First National Bank of St. Lucia, St. Lucia Development Bank.
That's good. And so it's in 6, but currently in 5 of the ECCB member countries. The independent ones are the ones that are participating, and you soon hope to have St. Vincent and the Grenadines on board. So entrepreneurs there can tap into this resource to help to increase their access to funding. If they are interested in tapping into this facility, they have to approach these banks, and then the banks in turn negotiate or process the application, and then it comes to you and they are able to access the funds.
But let me add that the banks do have their own requirements that they're going to be looking at as well. Because yes, there's a guarantee, but at the same time, the bank has to manage the loan. So if the prospect is not good, then the MSME will not get the loan. So they have to fulfill the banking requirements. The main thing that we fulfill would be the lack of collateral, lack of security, because a lot of people don't have the security on board. But remember, you need to have your books in order. You need to be registered. And you need to have a vision and be able to talk to the banker about your vision. This is your business. You need to know what's going on. There's no need to pay a consultant to give you a 40-page document. Sit with your banker and talk to your banker about it. And if the banker feels they need something more, then they will tell you, well, you know what? Could you get this put into a particular framework for me? So the first thing is not to go to get the business plan. The first thing to do is to go to your banker, let them know what you want to do. And in a lot of instances, the bankers are able to guide the MSME along the path to tell them, well, look, you need to start depositing, you need a checkbook, you need to do this, you need to keep your records and so on. And the bankers are able to help them. But in addition to the bankers' help, what we are doing right now is we have as our mandate training opportunities, to offer training opportunities and capacity building for the MSMEs. And we are going to be rolling out some programs. We are in talks with the chambers of the ECCU. We're in talks with the different business support organizations so that we can make this information available to the MSME even before they go to the bank. So for now, you can get it from the bank, but we are rolling out a series where we can make this information available outside of the banking arena.
So before they even enter the doors to ask for, this funding, they already they have the information to help them get their ducks in a row so that it makes the process easier and likely to be more successful.
That's correct.
Carmen, thank you so much for sharing this information with us on how small businesses and entrepreneurs in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union can increase their access to finance, and how the ECPCGC is working to help build capacity to make their businesses more successful.
Thank you very much for having me, Karina, and I'm looking forward to another one of our meetings again, another of our series.
Indeed, so am I. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of ECCB Connects. For more information about the Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee Corporation and how it's working to assist small business owners, visit its website, ECPCGC.org. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next week when we bring you another program to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you.